He had great success early on in this half, but the last 4 runs have netted just a few yards.
You know, Lee, the thing that Jackson has had in the past is they've always had a dominant offensive lineman on that line of scrimmage. This year it looks like they've got 5 young men that really give a lot of effort and come off the ball real well, but they don't have the real big, huge guy like the Chris Jordan that they've had in the past.
They only have 1 senior on the starting offensive line, a couple of sophomores and a couple of juniors. It's a young offensive line in terms of experience. Second down and 8. Crum back to pass at the 40, throws long and deep, and it's knocked down, intercepted, flag down. Being run back to the 20, back to the 25, to the 30. Going all the way. Going all the way with it is Terrence Johnson at the 10-5 and to the goal line touchdown, but it will come back. They will call pass interference as Casher went up in the air and tipped the ball to Terrence Johnson, who ran it back some 85 yards. What a fantastic play if it would hold, but it will not. They're coming back.
Well, we just talked about that, Lee. Blount's giving that up, and they're hoping that they can out-athlete them there. They can't do that. He was so wide open that Blount just can't cover that play. The flag was there and the post was there. The receiver had Casher's beat, but Casher's athletic ability allowed him to catch up. He caught up and interfered with him, and that's going to give Jackson a first down, probably where on about the 23 or 4 yard.
Yeah, what he did, he went over the top and actually tipped it, and what a great reaction play by Terrence Johnson to take the tip and run it back 85 yards down the near sideline in front of the Blount bench, but penalty flag was well thrown.
You know, Lee, there were a couple of things that occurred during that run back as well. There were 2 tremendous blocks made on the run back. Marco McNeil made a heck of a block, and Robert Malone made a heck of a block as his defensive back was going back for a touchdown. All of it's nullified, but you like to see those players making those kind of blocks on an interception.
Well, the Blount fans not happy with the call, but
oh, that's a great call, Lee. I mean, you can't. It was the right call.
They don't have to be happy with it, though.
No, they can't be happy.
Look at where this ball's going down now.
15.
All the way down to the 20-yard line.
Yeah. Well, high school football pass interference is 15 yards from the line of scrimmage. So in this case, unlike college or pros, where the ball might be where the offense occurred in the pros, in college it's also 15 yards.
My stats are unofficial, but they've had the ball for about 12 plays now. 3:14 remaining, second quarter. 14-6 Blount, but the Aggies have the ball at the Blount 20-yard line. Cyrus Jones, number 22, will line up behind the fullback, Brad Davis. 2 wideouts to the right, 1 to the left. 1st and 10 from the 20. They'll run Davis up the middle, and he's going to get it. Pass to the 15, to the 10, and inside the 10 to the 9. I thought they had him stopped. He kept going and going, and he picked up a lot more than I thought he would. Justin Cooley finally stopped him, and boy, you don't see Blount do things on defense like that to give up yardage like that.
Well, that time, Lee, he ran in there around the right tackle, and he just got clogged up with the offensive lineman from Jackson, and the Blount defenders couldn't find him. He bounced off around the right corner and ended up picking up 10 yards on a big busted play.
First down, 1st and goal at the 9. The Aggies trying to get back in the game, down by 8. Movement by Blount, that'll cost them.
Well, what you teach your defensive lineman, Lee, is to move on the football. When the ball moves, your linemen are supposed to be watching in your peripheral vision to watch the ball move. That time, the ball didn't move. We saw Jackson do that twice earlier in the first half.
The Blount coaches want a timeout.
Well,
the Blount coaches will get the timeout. Their defensive coordinator gets time to come on the field right now because they finally catch the eye of the official.
Well,
Warren Johnson, the defensive coordinator, wants to come out and talk to his team. All right, timeout on the field. 2:46 to go. First half, 14-6 Blount. Comcast Cable, Gulf Coast Radio Network. High school football game of the week will continue in 30 seconds. This has been a long, long drive for the Aggies, and they still have the ball, and now they have it down at the Blount inside the 5 at about the 4.5-yard line. They have a chance to tie this game up if they convert the touchdown and a 2-point conversion.
Yeah, they've done a good job up front blocking. knocking the defensive line off the ball. Let's see what Jackson does here, Lee. Got a tight end to the left.
Out of the I formation, Tommy Crum, the quarterback, takes. He's going to go off to the tailback. He'll run to about the goal line and go in for the touchdown. Jackson on the board again, giving it to Cyrus Jones. Scores his 7th touchdown of the year, and it's 14-12. Blount, and you know Jackson will be going for 2 now.
Well, they answered the call just like Blount did. Blount goes down and scores a touchdown. Jackson receives the next kickoff, comes down and answers the bell and scores a touchdown of their own.
Looks like Jackson wants another timeout with 2:42 remaining in the second quarter. 14-12 Blount. As this Comcast Cable, Gulf Coast Radio Network High School Football Game of the Week will continue at Pritchard Municipal Stadium in 30 seconds. Welcome back to Pritchard Municipal Stadium. We got ourselves a ball game now with Jackson answering Blount, just as Blount had answered Jackson. Not much scoring in the first quarter, but they've more than made up for it in the second quarter. It's 14-12, and Jackson will go for the tying 2-pointer. Crum will operate out of the shotgun. Takes the snap, back to pass, throws, incomplete over the head of his intended receiver, Purnell, number 2 in the end zone. And Blount still maintains the lead by a score of 14-12 with 2:42 remaining in the second quarter on the touchdown run by Cyrus Jones. This game brought to you in part by Spectronics Incorporated, by Camellia Bowling Lanes, also by Dairy Fresh and America Equities Underwriters, and a big thank you to Coca-Cola. Again, those watching the game, keep in mind, those listening to the game can watch the game tonight on Port City 6 at 10, and again Saturday afternoon at 2:30.
You know, Ben Harris is over talking to his defense, and what Ben's doing is motivating them. He's trying to be real positive with them, and he's got his position coaches that are be kind of getting on them a little bit, but Ben is always the cool one. He's there trying to motivate his youngsters and always trying to say something positive. I can't say enough about what Ben Harris has done for this Blount program.
9 years, 8 of them have been playoff trips for Blount. The kick by Dorman. Back to the 1-yard line goes Casher. He's trapped as he crosses the 15, tried to go to his left and was dumped at about the 16-yard line. That is excellent kickoff coverage by visiting Jackson. I talked with the Blount coaches this week, and I asked them what they worked on this week, Rick, and they said specialty teams.
Well, you know, that's the thing. I think if there's a weakness on the Blount football team, it is their specialty teams. And it's not because they don't work on it, Lee. It's just because I think maybe they just don't have as much skill at those particular positions as they do offensively and defensively.
14-12 Blount. First down for Aaron James and company. There's a delay. The running back Morissette at the 15. He's going to lose a yard. Finally gang tackled. Richard Phillips led the Jackson charge that time. There's about 5 tacklers around Morissette. Coming into this game, if you had to pinpoint an advantage for Jackson, it would be their kicker, who won the game last week over Sylacauga, but it's his missed extra point, Rick, that right now is the difference.
Well, Lee, in his defense, that missed extra point was because of an errant snap and a bad hold by the snapper in the hold.
Second down and 11. From the 15, back to pass, James. Got time, long, deep for Marlon Reed. Intercepted at the 45-yard line by Jackson. That ball was picked off by Kendrick Pritchard. He had Marlon Reed and DeAndre Green to contend with, and he took away the ball between the 2 receivers for the 27th turnover for Jackson. They have a plus 27 now. Well, actually, they gave the ball away twice in the first quarter, so they're plus 25 when you factor that in. But how about that pick by the defensive back with 2 Blount receivers in the vicinity?
Well, it was really just thrown up for grabs, Lee, and it was anybody's ball. And Kendrick Pritchard just went up and got it over Marlon Reed.
Well, the Aggies have had the ball most of the second quarter, and they have it right back again.
We have a chain problem over on the Jackson sideline. I don't know what the problem is with the chain. Looks like it's got wrapped around or something, but we have an official timeout.
1:55 remaining, second quarter. That was an outstanding play by the defensive back. Marlon Reed and DeAndre Green, who have about 70 catches between them. Boy, don't tell me you're starting to feel it, Rick, huh? He's starting to go for the big overcoat now. What are you, in the ski slopes?
Yeah, Lee, I'm getting cold, I admit it.
I never thought I'd see that happen. Rick's idol, of course, Bowie Kuhn, the commissioner, used to go to the baseball games in October with a sweater on.
I did like Bowie Kuhn, Lee.
I figured.
I did like him.
Yep. Wouldn't admit that it was too cold to play World Series games in 30-degree weather.
Of course, I like Pete Rose, too, Lee.
You see him on Larry King the other night?
Didn't he do a great job? I was impressed. I really was.
Waiting on the chain gang. Well, I'll tell you, we've had some unique delays in this game.
Lee, I meant to tell you, I had a friend of mine from Birmingham call today, and he said it's going to be announced either tonight at Notre Dame's pep rally or tomorrow. Bob Davies is going to get the job at Notre Dame. I think very deservedly so.
Seems to be the prevailing theory that with Gary Barnett staying at Northwestern, and I think that surprised more than a few people that Gary decided to stay with the Northwestern program and not leave for the greener pastures of Notre Dame.
Lee, do we have an official that's hurt on the sideline, or are they taping the marker? That's what they're doing, they're taping. But Lee, he's really, you know, Gary Barnett's built that program. Even if it goes down, he's going to have a chance to rebuild it back up.
Well, he's got a 12-year contract, so I'm wondering if his buyout was too much money.
For Notre Dame? I don't know.
That's what, 2 commercials on their network?
No, I just think that there's too much pressure.
There's Rick Cleveland out there, not quite ready for the Iditarod in Alaska as he's put his big Parker around him now. He's holding the chart. You can see him wave, Rick.
Hey, guys.
We got 1:55 remaining, and an oddity here is the chain gang across the far side of the field. That's what the delay is all about. It's been a real seesaw game, and you've got to credit Jackson, Rick, I think, because I think they came into this game. Some people were saying that they had no chance. Well, they don't agree with that. A lot of people were saying no chance.
Well, you're right, Lee. I told you before the game I didn't think they had a chance, but they have done an excellent job. Danny Hayes is a good football coach. He's won everywhere he's been. He's been a part of a winner everywhere he's been. And Jackson's always been a winner. It's a perfect match. And these guys are just laying it on the line and saying, here we are, we're coming to get you. And really, Blount's just not playing as well defensively as they've played in the past.
Also, I might point out this is the 6th straight year they've made the playoffs, and 2 previous times in the 90s they've been derailed by Blount. All right, we're ready to go. The chain gang is back in operation. They've mended the sticks. First down 10. Well, of course, medical personnel and trainers on hand, but I don't know if they have an answer for something wrong with the sticks yet.
I don't either, Lee, but I pretty well think if they're going to go to somebody here, Jackson's going to go to that wide receiver, the split end they've got out there.
Marche Jones is one you could look at. He wears 15. Another one who can catch the ball is Adrian Robinson, number 18.
That's the one I like.
They have 3 wideouts now on first down out of the shotgun. Crum to pass, sets up, screen over the middle, incomplete, almost intercepted. There's a flag now. There's a flag thrown where Marche Jones was looking to get that ball. And the finger pointing at Blount, that's who they think the penalty's against.
Well, Lee, it looks like they're calling that on Marco McNeil. I don't know what he did, but they threw the flag right where Marco was standing. Oh, they called it on Jackson.
Yeah, Jackson's wrong on that one. That's why I've learned my lesson. You don't believe a team until you see the call, but it's 5-yard penalty against Jackson. Was that an illegal receiver?
I think it's an ineligible receiver downfield.
That's what I think so too. I think they're saying the ball was in the vicinity of a lineman rather than the wideout, Marche Jones, who to me looked like he was near enough.
Right.
But the officials didn't think so.
Well, they're going to that double twins formation now, Lee.
From the 43, they load up the shotgun, the Aggies, from their own 43. Back to pass, Crum has time, runs up into the pocket. He's at the 45, and down he goes, hit from behind at the 46-yard line. It's going to be second down, as he was punished from behind by Jared Ellis.
You know, Lee, the thing about Blount is you can scramble and you can run around east and west, but they're going to catch up with you, and that's exactly what Jared Ellis did.
Rick, let me ask you a question. I thought, why wouldn't it be third down after they pass and that run? They say second down.
Well, Lee, I thought it was a loss of down.
So did I.
I don't understand that rule. I don't understand.
Everybody here, I say everybody, the scoreboard and the men with the sticks say second down. I would have thought now they spiked the ball, which to me would lead to fourth down, but I guess it's third down because the penalty flag was thrown after the play on the first down, and I wish we had an explanation for that. But I don't, and I'm not sure why. But it's going to be third down now as the quarterback Crum just spiked the ball to stop the clock with 58.9 seconds to go. I would think, of course, they're midfield, but only trailing 14-12, to me that'd be like a moral victory and just run out the clock.
Well,
to avoid an interception of sorts.
Well, you can't play on your heels, Lee. You got to play on your toes. You got to try to score every time you got the ball against a team like Blount.
3rd and 11 for the Aggies at their own 47-yard line. And here is Crum handing off to Brad Davis straight ahead to the 49 to Marco McNeil on the tackle. And that'll bring up fourth down.
Well, Lee, they really ran a safe play that time. They ran the inside trap to the fullback, and that was really a safe play anyway. They're going to punt the ball, I'm sure.
Well, they have to. 39 seconds to go in the second quarter. Clock running. 14-12, Blount leading. Stick around for the halftime show on WKSJ-AM and Comcast Cable. You'll hear from Ted Miller, the witty writer for the Mobile Register. Blount will take a timeout and stop the clock with 23 seconds to go. With 23 seconds to go in the second quarter, 14-12 Blount. This is the Comcast Cable Gulf Coast Radio Network High School Football Game of the Week. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Blount hoping for a run back of this punt. Of course, they have the guy who can do it, Larry Casher. He's taken a couple back long distance. 14-12, Blount leading.
Yeah, but Lee, you don't punt it to Cashers here. You punt it to the sideline down here at the 10-yard line or so. Don't give them a chance to run it back. They run it back, don't give them but one option. That's down the sideline you kick it to.
Dorman to punt, back at his own 35-yard line. Averages about 31 yards a kick. Block! It's blocked at the 38-yard line, and it'll be Blount's ball with 16 seconds left. Boy, oh boy, they call the timeout. Look at that, they come up with a block punt. I'm not sure exactly who blocked it, but Jared Ellis was in there. A couple of others.
Lee, I thought I saw Robert Malone in there. Wasn't
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if he was there too.
It was Robert Malone that blocked that punt, Lee.
16 seconds to go before the half. And James now at quarterback has the Leopards up to the line from the 38 back to pass. James will look deep. He'll go deep to the end zone. DeAndre Green is there, and he got it. Oh, he's out of the end zone. Oh, the back of the end zone. He caught it over the end zone with 8 seconds to go. It'll be second down. Oh my goodness, they almost scored.
Well, Lee, that time the defensive backs just kind of sat back and watched him go up for the ball. When the ball's in the air, that ball is anybody's ball, and the defensive back has got to have the mentality that that ball is as much mine as it is the receivers. And that time they just kind of watched as he went up to catch the football and let him catch it, even though he was out of the end zone.
Second down, 10 from the Aggie 38. James back to pass. Has time again. He's going to run this time. 35, 30, 25 to the left. Looking to get out of bounds. Slides, and time has run out. That is the end of the first half here at Pritchard Municipal Stadium with the score. Blount 14, Jackson 12. I'll be back with a recap of the first half with Rick Cleveland when the Comcast Cable Gulf Coast Radio Network High School Football Game of the Week returns in 1 minute.
I can't sit here and eat peanuts on TV.
All right, welcome back to Pritchard Municipal Stadium with the halftime score. Blount 14, Jackson 12. Rick, I'd be safe in saying that this game a lot closer than most of the so-called experts thought it would be. Why is it?
Well, I really think it is because two things, Lee. I think Jackson has really found a bubble in that Blount defense right over the zero hole, right over the center. Second of all, I just don't think Blount is playing as inspired as I've seen them play in the past defensively. Offensively, they seem to kind of be in a rut. They're not doing anything consistently to make something happen big. I think what Blount should do is run the football and make them stop them running the football.
In the first quarter, as we recap the scoring, Blount got on the board early on a more set touchdown run, 7 yards. This after a fumble recovery. Jackson got off the nod very slowly tonight, turned the ball over the first 2 times it had possession. The first time through an interception, and Blount had to punt it, but the second time they gave them ball inside the 15, actually to the 7-yard line, and then Morissette ran it in on the first play. It was 7-0 after the kick by Hill. Then Jackson came back on a 24-yard run by Brad Davis, and we saw him run very well against the Blount defense in that first half, especially in the first quarter.
Well, he did. He ran the ball very well, and he ran it in the same place every time he ran the football. They were doing such a good job on the right side of the Jackson offensive line that he was just picking up yardage after yardage. And finally, I think Blount made a defensive change, and they moved the player up, stopped that run, and now they had to make an adjustment.
Big thank you to Coca-Cola, helping sponsor this game on Comcast Cable, Port City 6. And once again, welcome back to Pritchard Municipal Stadium. It is 14-12 Blount. We're getting ready to start the second half. Lee Shervanian, why am I always out of the camera? And there's Rick Cleveland munching away on his peanuts. Well, I'll tell you, this is a day where you really want to do exercises. The Blount Leopards are doing exercises in the end zone because one thing to get loosened up, it's chilly out there. The Aggies are back on the field from Jackson. They brought down, I'd say they filled up about half the far stands. This is not a sellout.